Hi, my name is Judith, and I am a longtime television producer, content creator, actor, and television host based in South Florida. And I am also involved a lot with medical production and corporate ID stories for different types of companies around the country. I worked with Shields Films remotely, which is a little challenging, especially after COVID, but we've gotten used to it. And the company did a fantastic job, and I would give them 5 stars out of 5. Well, one of the things I enjoyed the most about working with Shields Films is that um, though we work with different camera and cinematography companies around the country because we do a lot of filming remotely, it for the first time working with Shields Films, it seemed like we had worked together multiple times, and the team was able to anticipate my needs and kind of fill in for the producer, because when the producer's not there in person, which is how we work a lot now in these post-COVID times, it does put a little more burden on the person who's there, the cinematographer, the director, the videographer team. And they did a brilliant job of working with my client and made everyone feel like we were at a top notch production. And that is what matters the most to us in our company. As I work with different teams remotely, different production camera crews remotely as a producer based in South Florida, sorry, no, I'm supposed to say again, hold on. As we work remotely with a lot of different production companies throughout the US and Canada, it is challenging in these post COVID production times because a lot of the time the producer, like myself, is not able to be there in person. And for a lot of our productions, they are quite sensitive. They're medical in nature, there are patients and patient advocates involved. And so it would always be better to have the producer there in person. And so we now rely much more on the role of the cinematographer, the videographer who's working with us remotely. And so I think that as an overall industry challenge, Shields Films is exceptional. They really understand the dynamic of today's needs for producing remotely. And I would never have thought it would be possible as a patient myself who does a lot of advocacy for patients and patient awareness in different diseases. I would have never thought someone could actually take my place, so to speak, and stand in my place more likely, to be that role of the go-between between the patients we're dealing with and the doctors and myself, the producer, remotely. But Shields Films did brilliantly, and I can't thank them enough for that. Well, one of the primary factors that we use in our production model is the recommendations of other producers. We produce all over the country doing different types of programming and production, lifestyle stuff. We have a show that deals with military, veterans, and then a lot of medical production. And because sometimes the producer will not be able to travel to the location in person, we do rely on our production management team to siphon out the best of the best production teams around the country, and we go by word of mouth. And sometimes we go just based on other people's reviews, because sometimes we have not been to a city or location yet for the first time and don't have a great camera crew recommendation to rely on. So it's a combination of what do our other producers think and what do other people in the industry who've worked with that team think, and then we choose one and we go for them. And once we connect with someone in a certain city or location and they do a phenomenal job like Shields Films did, we run right back to them for the next one. When I was able to speak with Travis for the first time, I immediately got a sense of comfort knowing that he and his team would be in place for me at the location where we were going to be. And in this case, it was a fellow breast cancer survivor like myself. And it was a sensitive topic, and our physician, our patient, and our team of cinematographers, including Travis, they all worked so seamlessly. But from the very outset, I could tell, based on his communication with me about equipment and just wanting to know exactly what my needs were, and then his overall attitude from the start, you can just tell when you know you're going to click with someone.